T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review. Before I do that, I just wanted to show you a little something. Remember a couple weeks ago when I had done Stax? Well, I managed to find a Stax who's in pretty good condition. A couple paint scuffs here and there. His wheels are actually straight, unlike mine, so again, I don't know what would cause that on such thick plastic. But he had his smokestacks, and I was very excited to see that. So, just wanted to show you guys. Here's the little smokestacks which become his gun. And you can see, it's only held in by 2 square pegs, and not even very tightly. I mean, you can bump it a bunch of times before it's going to fall out, but it's a very small piece and easily lost. So, I was happy to find this Stax for a pretty cheap price, and I think I'm going to take him apart underneath and pull off some of this stuff and, put the better plastics and stuff on my Stax, who has better paint and stickers in my opinion, and a better arm. But I just want to show you guys that because I was real excited to find a Stax with 2 smokestacks. So, much better looking truck now. But let's focus on the point of this review, and that's Arcee from Transformers Prime. Now I'm fortunate enough to have found Arcee, Starscream, and Bumblebee all at my local Toys R Us. And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying this particular line of toys. So here she is in her motorcycle mode. It's a pretty nice looking motorcycle. It looks to be pretty close in scale with a 3 3/4 figure. I just can't find any good way though to get him on the motorcycle. Now this could all just be related to how this Steel Brigade soldier just doesn't have, a whole ton of posability in the legs. But when I take him and put him on here, there's just nothing I can do to make him sit in such a way that it looks convincing. And if I try to put his hand on the handlebars, now it just looks like he's lying on top of the motorcycle. So the scale may be a little bit off for a 3 3/4 fig, but not too much. I suppose once we see in the entertainment pack Jack, he probably will look okay standing next to her. So let's get him out of here. Now you do have on the alt mode here these blades. To be totally honest, am not a big fan of these blades. They just peg in on the sides here, and they can be removed, of course, I would hope. And you can just pull them off. And this is my preferred way of having her, and you get that little bit of pink. It's a metallic-y pink, so it's not even a real bright pink, but you can totally see the difference between that and the silver. And you can have her like that. And she does have this kickstand, which is now no longer inconsequential when you have the blades off. When the blades are on, the blades actually hold her off the ground. So, let's get to transforming her. Now, when I got her, there's a couple things during the transformation that I actually thought I was going to break her in the process. So, yeah, the transformation, it's good, but there's a couple things that are a little difficult. Start by just unpegging the arms from the sides of her legs here. You pull them on out, and then just rotate down her legs. Hey look, she's a bike sister. I guess she is. So anyway, just split these wheels here, and they split in 2. And then what you're gonna do, take this, rotate the wheel assembly out of the way for now. And this is one of the parts that I really thought I was gonna break. You gotta take this bottom foot and you gotta give it some muscle to move it. It was a lot harder to move when I first got her than it is now. Once you've done that, you can take the wheel, have it so it's sideways like this, and everything is gonna all fold in together here to kind of complete the back of her leg like that, and the wheel won't move once it's like that. So let me show you that again. You rotate this out of the way, force her foot down, then once her foot is down here, you take this whole assembly, make it so the wheel is up and out of the way. It all rotates down here at this little hinge piece, and then the wheel just kind of slides into the back here. Again, it won't move. So you get that for her legs. Now, let's rotate it so they're facing the right way, of course. now you can take this back piece here, just kind of fold it down here. And what we'll do is we'll rotate the waist here. And you can see how she's pretty much coming together here. Let me zoom this out just a little. And now it's all about her arms. Just take them. They're all pegged together. Well, they peg in the side of her chest here, and then they just kind of fold up. So, I'm sorry, didn't mean to say peg together. Take that, then flip her arm around so her hand is facing the right way. And now you come to the part of the instructions that was probably the most confusing when I was going through this. So, what you're going to want to do is kind of separate the top of the bike here, because it's holding the blue windshield piece in. And this part's a little bit, I find this to be difficult to do. You gotta get pieces of the handlebar over the back here, and you can see once you get it over, it moves pretty freely. But that is probably one of the harder parts in my opinion. Whoops, technical glitch there, sorry, I needed to go plug in my camcorder. Anyway, so yeah, you have the top part here free, and then what you're gonna do is kind of push on the back wheel here, and that's gonna free this assembly so it can be rotated down, and you'll see her head is in there. And you'll take that and you'll rotate it on up, and then rotate it back forward again. So she's got this really long neck going on here. And you'll see she looks very strange right now. So now what you're gonna do, real easy, you're gonna take the front piece of the motorcycle that you freed from the handlebars and just bring them down in front here, and then just kind of angle them on in. At first, if you leave them out like this, it looks terribly funny. So I don't remember if the instructions told you to push them in or not. I remember thinking her chest looked pretty funny when I was done, so I don't know maybe if I had missed a step the first time or the instructions just didn't tell me. But either way, you got it now. So now you'll take this back wheel, just kind of rotate it so it's sideways here, and then for this final piece, you just kind of rotate it down, and that's about it. You can rotate the handlebars up. It sits like that. And I'm not a real big fan of how this back piece really sits on her, but it's mostly unnoticeable from the front, so I guess it's okay. She is a motorcycle former, so there's, I guess, not too much that they could have done with it. I forgot, you need to rotate, well, you can rotate these shoulder assemblies however you like them. If you want them up like that, or if you want them down so they're more like shoulder armor. I believe the instructions actually do tell you to put them up like this to make more of shoulder armor. And there you go. That is Transformers Prime Arcee. And they really did a good job capturing, you know, all the features of her face. She does have some blue light piping, but unfortunately how it's lighted, you're probably not going to see that. Here she is again next to that same 3 3/4 inch figure. So, I don't know, the scale seems pretty good for an adult versus Arcee. It kind of goes a little funny when you bring in some of the other Transformers from the series, but whatever. Articulation is pretty good. This is on a ball joint. You're really only limited by how this back armor is going to touch anything. You got a ball, or a swivel, I'm sorry, at the top up here, so you can swivel her arm around. A double jointed elbow, so she can, you know, scratch the back of her head if she could itch. She's also got a little wrist swivel here. You saw she has a waist for transformation. It does look a little funky though if you try to pose her with it, just because of how it basically separates from the body. You do have a ball at the bottom, a swivel at the ball, a knee joint, and then that's about it for the bottom. You're gonna have a little bit of movement on the toes, but really nothing to speak of. Yeah, she's a pretty great figure though. I still think Starscream is just a smidge better than her, but really not much. Bumblebee is probably the lowest of the 3 that have been released, but he's still a really good figure, so just because I'm saying he's not as good as the other 2 doesn't mean he's not a good figure. Now you can also take her blades if you like them, and you can put these in the holes on the bottom of her arms here to give her some weapons. They're okay. They do look like they're just kind of growing out of her arm or something. So it's up to you if you like them. They're just an added accessory. If you don't like them, you don't have to have them. If you see me struggling with her legs, it's because she's really only held on the floor by these 4 points, and because of how the ball joints are and the fact that she's on this desk, she does tend to slide a little bit. So she does hold her poses pretty well, and she is a very, very poseable figure. You'll get more posability out of her if you want to leave the shoulder armor down. Now let's bring in, just for size comparison purposes, you saw the G.I. Joe. Here's old trusty Seeker mold. He's very, very tired. There you go, you can see the size there. And just for fun, I will bring in Starscream, who sits on my shelf trying to swoon Arcee. You know, with his very emotive face and everything. I'll save any articulation from him. I'll just show him like this until after. And, you know, I know some people are holding out for the Voyager Starscream, but the Deluxe is just a great Starscream. I mean, he's so emotive, and if you watch Transformers Prime, he really wasn't all that much bigger than Arcee. So far, I'm kind of liking the size of the Deluxe, even though his jet is a little bit small. So we'll just put Starscream behind here. And the final Transformers Prime figure I have, of course, is Bumblebee. So that is Transformers Prime Arcee. And yeah, that's all my Transformers Prime figures right now. I hope I find Cliff Jumper and the Entertainment Pack Optimus and Megatron pretty soon, because that would just be awesome. So this is T2RX6. Next weekend, I don't know if there will be a review. If I have time to shoot one before my wife and I leave, then I will, and I'll upload it on Friday remotely. Other than that, I can't promise there's going to be a video next week, so we'll see. It depends on if my schedule gives me time to film something, which kind of sucks because Dr. Crank and Structor will be here, so will Sonicron and some Impossible Toys, Spike, and Sparkplug. I think that's it. I think that's all that's coming, as if that's just a little bit. So anyway, yeah, hopefully I can find some time to film something. If not, guys, have a safe holiday, and I will see you the week after. So, see you later.